Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share. Hello everyone and welcome back to another live stream with me, Gisela K. This is Grizzly True Crime. I hope that you can hear me. Let me know if you can. So, the verdict was apparently already read. That was quick. They said they're going to read it at 3 p.m. Eastern and it's only 20:03. So, let me show you. Wait, was it this feed? There's a few feeds that I have going here. Just hold on one second. I want to get it, which I think is this one. And we want to share the sound, okay? All right, so it should be this one. Let's hear it. I'm monitoring a whole bunch of feeds, and I just saw people running and saying that Richard Allen was found guilty on all counts. So let me quickly look on X while we watch this feed here. Okay, that's still a little bit... somewhere there. Okay. Guilty on all counts. Whoa. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry, I'm like looking at all the screen. I've invited Defense Diaries, Andrea Burkhardt, and Lawyer Lee to join us if they can, right? Let me just quickly check my messages as well, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Hold on one second. Wow. There. People are cheering there. Oh my word. Welcome, Huma. You guys are surprised. You're guilty on all counts. This feed is a little bit, let me find another one. Shame. Oh, that's Libby's mom. Right? Not? Wow. Oh my word. Okay. If I seem distracted, I am. I'm just like, what? Guilty. There we go. Yeah, you say guilty on all 4 charges. That's hectic. That is so hectic, right? Let me see. Lou, Bear Girl said, gee, next time you do a verdict video, can you switch off the chat, please? Some folks can't help but spoil it. Well, that sucks. I'm sure they're just excited to tell everyone, right? Heidi says, absolute bullshit. Yeah, so that was, there's Kelsey and her husband, Kelsey German, Libby's sister. Here's her mom. Wow, that was so quick. I don't mean the deliberations were not quick. That was 17 hours or so. They started deliberating on Thursday afternoon. And they were deliberating today as well, even though it's Veterans Day. Whoa. What a day. I struggle. Are they going to arrest any other people? Ridiculous. They think Richard Allen did this by himself? I have questions. I wonder how the jury will feel once they start researching the case, right? Guilty of crime says guilty AF. Okay, let me just hop on. I just want to see some other feeds. What's happening? Let's see. Okay, this one is happening there. Here's WTHR. What did they say? Ooh, maybe that's a better feed. Stand by. Go like this. Ooh, that reminds me of Laredo, those trains. Okay, let's go back a few minutes. Oh, there's the defense team. Bradley Rosie. Oh, they worked hard. It says I'm speechless. There's Bob Motter with Kathy Allen. Shame. This is so hectic. Estelle says this was not a public trial. How do you guys feel about this? Tell me. Okay, Dark Sky Ray says can't win against corruption. Ooh, Maria's Kitty Cat says press conference. Is there one? Let's ask Matt. Hold on. You know, the lawyer, Peter Tragar, said that he has never in his career seen a case where it's not guilty after there's confessions from the suspect themselves, So all those confessions and everything, as much as I know, many of us question the circumstances under which they happened. Ooh, I think for the jury, and so much wasn't allowed in this trial. I think that's pretty hectic. This is a very hectic day. You see law enforcement everywhere. Of course, security. Whew. Cynthia says, I'm so angry. No one is safe. It could be any of us. Yeah, Sherry said we heard 3 p.m. Exactly. We heard 3 p.m. Only 14 members of the public were allowed in. Thankfully, Andrea Burkhart made it in. Lawyer Lee made it in. Defense Diaries was in. Libby's mom. That is, what is the creator's name? Aspen Connor, I think. Maligator says Gull screwed us every day she could. Yeah, the confessions. Oh dear. Let me see what you. Okay, let's see what you guys voted on the poll out of interest. What do you think it'll be? 40% said guilty and 60% said not guilty. Well, that changed after the verdict came in. But yes. So a lot of you say sad day. The Blue Rose said it's the West Memphis 3 all over again. Wow. Okay. Suzanne said sentencing. Ooh, okay. Really? Sentencing is December 20th. Thank you for keeping me informed. I really appreciate it because now I'm live. I'm reacting to all this. I'm trying to follow all the feeds. Yeah, Aspen Connor. Thank you. So thank you. December 20th. Okay. Let's keep that in. I wonder if that will be streamed. Will that be streamed? Sentencing? Rainbow Rabbit Hole says, hoping we get to see the appeals. I'm sure we will. All right, Rochelle, wow, from South Africa, thank you. You said, what an injustice, G. Praying for a successful appeal, just thinking now that the real murderer is walking free. So wanted justice for the girls, but not like this. Pearl Picker says, never talk to the cops, never, right? Samantha Lee says, how can you say he confessed when he said, I might have done it and I think I did it? I am so mad, right? I understand. I mean, we talk about this for a long time, right? So I understand. With the jury. When the jury starts studying the case, if they do. Eek. A to Z said, folks, never ever speak to the police. This could happen to you. Sure. Odie says, this is not true justice for Abby and Libby. This is so hectic. Pam Pepper said, it is what it is. Wish it had been recorded or televised. Me too. It really sucks that it wasn't. Just over a month of trial. It was scheduled to last until the 15th. Today's the 11th, and today they reached a verdict, right? Marie said, think something more corrupt here, and he was framed for some odonistic action. JM said, no surprise. They did not get all the evidence. Michael Green says the jury was swayed by emotion and not by evidence. Linda says it was the confession to his mom that convinced me. I must say, that one, when I heard it as well, I'm like, oh dear. That one sounded very hectic. Deb says complete injustice all the way around, not proven. I really think there was reasonable doubt. I really do. I'll die on that hill. I think there was reasonable doubt. Yeah, Marlo says convinced on what evidence? If you're only joining now, the verdict is in. They were planning to read it at 3 p.m. Eastern, but they read it early. The next minute, I saw on X that Wish TV had reported that the jury had left, and then I was very confused. Like, what do you mean? And I thought maybe it's just the alternates, but no, I think that actually was the jury that had left because the verdict had already been read. They'd been excused, probably obviously thanked for their service as usual. As we see in trials, we obviously can't see anything. This could be a press conference coming up, right? If so, I'll boost the sound for us. And then the next minute, there it was, all over X, guilty on all counts. Yeah, AC said, I think this is going to be a long appeal process. Hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully once Richard Allen is said to be sentenced on December 20th, maybe after that, there could be some FOIA requests made. Maybe we could see some of what the jury saw. I don't want to see anything graphic, but you know what I mean. There's some of what they saw so that we can understand what they saw. Oh, that one is...
If I didn't do it. And
is this now live? Yeah, this is live as well.
And
okay.
That really stood out to me. So
hold on. Yeah.
I believe this
live as well.
That he was, thinking clearly at that time, or that he was in a state of psychosis. These jurors believed at this point, they believed the prosecutor. They believed the state saying.
So Inigo Montoya said, if this guy can be found guilty, then any of us can be found guilty of anything at any time. I think that's really scary. I really do. I know I'm not American, but damn, it's so scary to think how the Constitution is supposed to work and how this went and just all the way the investigation was treated, the lack of, the DNA testing, just everything we've gone over so many times before. It's really scary that they actually found him guilty on all counts, right? Tori said, when Leilani was found guilty, I felt the justice for baby Q. Same for other cases. This outcome doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, it's very difficult, right? Sarah said, what was the verdict? Guilty on all counts. And he was charged with, it was 4 counts of murder, but 2 of them were connected to kidnapping, right? But guilty on all counts, which is quite, based on everything we'd heard, it's probably a process of elimination to say that he was bridge guy, because the way that the BG video sounded, the unspent round, the way he was dressed. And the thing is, what's so scary is that he put himself there. He's the one that called that tip in out of 50,000 tips. If he hadn't done that, yeah, they wouldn't be here today. Wow. My dog is my ear, said state cherry-picked to fit their timeline. Goal blocked the defense. Justice for who? How will the jury feel when they realize so much? I want to know that. Okay, so if any of the jury members ever see this stream and they want to come talk to us, they are most welcome. My email address is grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. I would love to hear, I would love to hear from them. If there's any interviews that they do, I'd love to hear from them as well. Let's listen to a bit of
Richard Allen
Bob here.
Was in his right mind when he made those statements. And, a lot of times you hear when someone says something, believe them. And in this situation, the jury believed Richard Allen when he said, I killed Abby and Libby.
Wow,
so
what
hectic.
A tough day. What a tough day, but maybe also relief for this community. This has been a journey that they unwittingly were a part of. They didn't want to have this thrust upon their community, the fear, the search that there might be a killer living amongst them, the way that they changed and navigated their lives because of the thought that their children would not be safe to go out and walk along the streets, along the High Bridge Trail, along to be out in nature when they're being unsupervised. That has changed this community here in
jury, come talk to the Grizzlies.
And now today, perhaps they can put this chapter to rest and move forward.
I don't know about that.
Very first day of testimony, we heard.
Do you think? Oh man, for me, I'll always have questions. One of those cases, we're always going to have questions. Sorry that I'm all small over here today. It's because I'm using StreamYard. Wait, there you go. I'm using StreamYard so that I can have guests on. It's not my usual software, right? So sorry, I'm all small in the corner over there. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much all for being here. There's almost 6,000 people here. Please like and share, so in case someone else, if they don't know that the verdict is out yet or anything like that, let me know. Let them know is what I mean. Deb says forced confessions. I mean, I don't know if people to me, that solitary confinement for 13 months is very hectic, right? So let's see. I want to hear what you guys say. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to talk about the verdict, guilty on all 4 counts, and Richard Allen will be sentenced on December 20th. Right? I wonder, someone actually said earlier, wait, I missed a comment. Mandy said, sadly, I don't think Richard Allen will live long enough to appeal. I don't think so either. That's very sad as well. Ashley says, guilty based off of what Goal allowed. I feel it would have been different if she wasn't so corrupt. Kelly Mack said, a patsy blamed for this will not bring justice. The timeline just doesn't make sense to me. The state's timeline. What? Shame. Okay, so let's, I just want to see if is there going to be like a press conference or anything else happening? Not that one. We're just looking. Delphi, what's happening? If you find any links, by the way, that you want me to show, if there's a press conference or something, please send it to me, grizzlytruecrime@gmail.com. Just Emmy said, I think the jurors will be beside themselves when they see what they weren't allowed to see. Can you imagine? From the sketches to the third-party culpability theories to the just everything. There's a lot, actually, that wasn't allowed in, right? So can you imagine? Karen said, I still don't believe this was done alone. I don't either, based on how the crime scene was explained, right? Okay. So yesterday, if you didn't see, we had a guest on, which was Andrea Burkhardt. I'm sure many of you have been listening to her trial notes, the coverage of this trial. I think it was done so brilliantly. I'm so grateful that she was there. And somebody had asked in the chat, would she help with the appeal process? Would she be willing to? And she said she would. So yeah, that's where her expertise lies. So let's see. I mean, it's going to be an appeal process, right? Small Fry said, I feel that the jury is going to be devastated, yeah, after they see all the evidence. Imagine, after what Judge Goal blocked. Mandy said, didn't he say at the end of one of his calls, after the other person put the phone down, he said to someone, is that okay? I heard Bob Motter talk about that it sounded like Richard Allen said, okay. Like, okay, like as if, was that okay? Yeah, gut instinct, hey. For many of us, it's like, oh dear. Deborah said he doesn't look or sound like Bridge Guy. Why can't we hear his voice? Yeah. Lacey said the look on Rosie's face said it all. Heartbreaking. The verdict just doesn't feel right. I mean, of course, I know that the families would feel very happy now that there's a verdict reached, that there's never closure, but that there's a sense of this chapter being closed. Obviously, there'll be sentencing. So for them, I'm like happy for them, but at the same time, I'm also very concerned about the verdict. How about you? Some malicious OG said corrupt as F. Laura said impossible, not important. The crazy mom's life said justice. Angie says stay out of Indiana. The place ain't right. Oh dear. Oh man. Now could Doug Carter please tell us the whole story? Because he said, you want to know what we know and one day you will. It's very complex. They always implied there's multiple suspects. Always. Okay. There's actually an interview that's just surfaced on X where they asked if the witnesses saw like the Bridge guy. And he said, no. He said only the girls did. And I'm like, what? Like all these things that Doug Carter said. Can he now tell us the whole story? Because he said he would. He said he would. Now, Gigi said he also said he killed his grandchildren. He doesn't have any. Yeah, he said he said a lot of things that actually you have to take the 61 confessions and subtract the ones that make no sense. But then I think you'd probably still be left with what, like 55 of them, 50 of them? Obviously, for the jury, that would have been like, I think for them, the question could have also been, well, if it's not him, then who else is it? Wait till they go down that rabbit hole. Heather says, I've seen it done in other trials. Just River said people in the courtroom said it was RA's voice. Well, have they heard him? You mean compared to the police interview and then playing it? I don't know. It was an enhanced guys down the hill, almost like AI. So I don't know if a comparison can truly be made there without ears. I'm not sure. Lorraine said could be another murder. Do you mean like what? To catch the others or what? What do you mean? Oh my goodness. Eric C says very concerned. Phoebe says no, and I believe most of the community will not feel safe because they don't believe that Richard Allen is guilty. Okay, So let's see. Hypnotizer Lobster says, Sleuthy Goosey posted a video. The murder sheet guy's getting let in the back door to the courthouse. I knew then it was cuck. Oh dear. Oh dear. Talia, bus stop juror, said the appeal is being drafted as we speak. Submitted tomorrow per someone in the know. Okay, let's go to X. Let's go to X. I'm still looking to see now who's live. What's happening? Is this Wish TV? Oh, they're still live. They've got some guests on. I see Peter Tragos is live as well. Wow. Are you guys watching everywhere? Watching there and here at the same time. I'm sure TVs are on, laptops are on, phones are on. I would do the same. I'm trying to as well. Okay, let's see the latest on X in this. If you go hashtag Delphi trial. Okay. Random interest said, well, the good news is many didn't think he did it, so he should have help with his appeals. I can't say he was guilty or not guilty. Hard thing to decide, but 2 little girls are dead and people don't want to see a man who very well could have done it walk free. That's true as well. That's a scary thought, hey? Fiona said, thank you. South African Rands. You said it doesn't add up. No one identified R.A. as bridge guy. There's definitely more than one killer. The timelines make no sense. This is not justice for sweet, innocent Abby and Libby. Pamela Wolf says, I wanted justice for Abby and Libby. However, I feel that we have whoever murdered these girls are at large. There was no justice served today. I have followed this case throughout Andrea Burkhart. Wow. Okay. Let's just see. Simply Stranger says, apparently nobody can say anything right now because Judge Gold has not lifted the gag order. Oh, my word. So did Judge Gold remind everyone that the gag order is still in place or what? Because that is actually quite strange. Like, I was thinking, is there going to be a press conference? Are the families going to be speaking to the media? Oh, my word. She keeps the gag order in place. Bernie Heaven said, fast forward to Making a Murderer, the Delphi story. I can see it happening. I can see it happening. Gigi said there's nothing to be happy about for the families of Libby and Abby. False security. Kate, you said, where is Richard Allen going to be held or housed or whatever now? Well, I guess he would be going back to, I wonder actually, will they send him to Wabash or Westville or where? But back to where he was and lost his mind in that time, right? Especially in April of 2023. Krista said, this is a devastating day in Delphi. If you are local, please let us know that you are local and tell us how you feel about it as well. Obviously, I want to hear from everyone. Please, everybody, tell me how you take this. Richard Allen was found guilty on all 4 counts. He'll be sentenced on December 20th, and he's facing, they said, up to 130 years in prison. So that's like LWOP, of course. You know? Whoa. The gag order stays in place. Can you imagine? Chelsea said, I truly hope we get a juror interview from at least one juror. I want to know what the smoking gun was in their mind. Was it the expert Googling things on their lunch break? Was it the lack of DNA evidence linking Richard Allen? I have questions. I mean, that's true as well. Richard Allen was found guilty on 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of felony murder in the highly publicized Delphi murder trial. Wow. Okay. Stark Jerk says, edited sound shouldn't be allowed. Yes, Kitty, I can't believe this. You said no press conference. The judge didn't lift the gag order until December 20th. I can't believe that. I mean, I can because of how everything's gone. But even that, it's just so cruel. The way that Judge Gold does things, it's so cruel. Why can't the family say anything? You know, it's been so long. Now they can't speak. The gag order still in place? That's crazy. Oh, my word. Amy said, I know someone who gave a false confession. He did 20 plus years before he was cleared by DNA. If you're interested in covering it for context, his name, Chris Tapp. Thank you so much. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Natalie says, this is not right. It's not justice. Evil and darkness is what won here, and there will be plenty involved reaping rewards here. Most of the locals thought he was innocent. They won't feel safe. I did see that. Bob Mutter was walking around interviewing everybody standing there, and most locals thought he was innocent. Right? Cat Aussie Girl said, gag order has not been lifted. No official statements until after sentencing. That's just, to me, that's just like, I've never seen that. There's so many I've never seen that's in this case. Wow. Here's a different opinion. Island says, so glad for this verdict. Island hologram. Brooke Park says, I'm going back and forth. Sis, you're cheating. No, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Lolly says there was more evidence against Craig Lewis of murdering his wife, and he was found not guilty. I know, right? Because there as well, it was like, but he was hosing down the driveway. That's Craig Lewis trial, South Carolina. We just watched it last week, and he was found not guilty because the state's case was really weak. There were many holes in that case. I understand that. But yeah, he was very quickly, swiftly, 1 hour and 40 minutes, he was found not guilty. Even though there were many things that was like, Grizzly Cat's reminding everyone you can pause the chat and manually scroll more slowly by holding down on it. Yes, if you want to slow it down more, just tap the chat and you should be able to slow it down, right? Rochelle said, I always wondered why no more murders. Maybe because the landowner's dead. It's very interesting. It's also, I have theories about that, I suppose. Also depends on the motive. I've always believed the motive is financial. Where does that sound? I would need a couple of hours to explain that. But I'm just like, the whole thing, true crime wise, okay? From all the cases we study, if Richard Allen did this by himself, wow, what an anomaly and what a speed walker. What a timeline. What happened to Abby? How was she found like that? That doesn't make much sense. But also to be, I think he was 45 years old at the time. To wake up and drink 3 beers, and wander onto the bridge and just commit double murder? And then that's it. That's just so crazy. Oh my word. What? Right? Lee Snellgar. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Nurse says, I would love to hear your theories, G. Careful with those. Careful with those rabbit holes. I've gone down some rabbit holes. I've gone down the Shane Evans rabbit hole before, the former mayor and all of that, and just everything. Just all sorts, right? So let's just see. I just want to see quickly. Okay, so WTHR is live. Core TV is live. Anyone else standing out there? Of course not. They can't say anything. Wow, this is so hectic. Okay, let me just see if I just want to check my messages. Bob Motter said he'll do his best to hop on with us. Whoa. Let's just see. What is your verdict? Again, Core TV, the verdict 46% not guilty, 38% not. Wait, 46% voted guilty, and the rest voted either not guilty or hung jury. That's like, wow. All across, right? Yeah, Shalene said, please don't attack the family. Yeah, don't attack the families. Oh, you're saying that to me. Don't worry, I'm not attacking families. It's not part of my theory. Just Emmy, does the gag order include jurors? Interesting, I wonder. Probably not, but I do wonder. You never know. With Judge Gold, it probably does. Probably does. The Star says Gold has created all of this doubt of the verdict. Transparency may have explained a lot of the verdict, right? Nicola Maxwell said, this is outrageous. Thank you, G. Heartbreaking. Another innocent man in prison. I mean, that does happen. You know, innocent people are convicted sometimes. That's why there's the appeal process and all of that. It's not common, but it happens. Becca says, thanks, Gisela, Grizzly Cat, and best mods in the biz. Yes, thank you, mods. Thank you, mods. I really, really appreciate it. Lynn said, this is not justice for the girls. Candace said, wonder what the jury will think when they see all the evidence. Yeah, I wonder as well. Zobo says, more questions now than answers. So shady. Casey32 says, they saw the jury saw the prison videos. No one else did. They must have seen something that we don't know about that helped them make up their minds. I think they were fair and did justice. I mean, the jury saw exhibits that the public did not see. And by public, I mean the 24 people that were in the courtroom taking notes, not even the whole public. The world was not able to be watching. You know, in the beginning, all the coverage like the world is watching. Kind of, because we couldn't watch the trial. No audio, no video, no live streaming, even though Judge Gold was the judge in Allen County to fight for cameras in the courtroom. Now, she was the special judge assigned to this case. You know, I think it was Truth and Transparency had mentioned that Richard Allen was never even arraigned. He wasn't like formally arraigned. Even that's like, what? So crazy. Hungry Helmet said, what was the verdict? Guilty on all 4 counts. All guilty, right? Lisa said, what a miscarriage of justice. Oh my goodness. Pumpkin says, I can't believe it. What a BS. Kelly says, I have so many questions. I mean, so many. Right. Okay. Let me quickly see if I'm missing something. That's all good. Okay. I mean, obviously, we're not going to see a press conference or anything, so can't really show you anything. Lou said, jury got it wrong, in my opinion. It depends on what they saw. Based on everything we heard, right? Which I've listened across the board before somebody accuses me you only listen to one source. I listen to all of them, no matter what the opinions are. Okay. And based on everything I heard from everybody's trial notes and everything I saw, I'm like, whoa, beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't think so. I couldn't do it. But it depends what they saw. What exhibits did they see? What of those prison videos did they see? I mean, the ones that they just showed to the jury and not to the public sounded very hectic. That's like Richard Allen had his hands tied behind his back. He had, I think it was like a, what do they call them? Like a spit hood over his head. I mean, it was all sorts. It sounded very hectic. So Melissa said, hidden justice is not justice. I would just really love to have a conversation with Doug Carter. So now tell us, is today the day? Can you tell the story, or is it December 20th? Is he up for interviews, or is he going to say, no, I'm retired now, I can't talk about it? Just tell us the whole story. You always said he's going to tell us the whole story. Tell us now. Okay. Live, look outside the courthouse. Okay, this is ABC Chicago. Not much going on there. Really cleared out now. Oh my word. I can't believe the gag order is still in place. That is so crazy. Wow. Okay. Someone, I can't even read your name. How do Quantum Girly? Stop justifying how you're biased. Well, I don't think telling me what to do is the right approach either. Only biased people say stuff like that. It's your channel. You say it. No, I don't. No. I think informed people remind people they're informed and not biased. Kadia, but we all entitled to our own opinion, of course. Damn it, man. There's nothing happening out here. Of course not. Oh, my word. Kadia Kane, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So you said, Moonbeamer, we have to trust that justice was served. We went there. We didn't see or hear what the jury did. The problem is many don't trust because the jury didn't even see everything that could be seen in this case. So much was blocked, right? So that's quite hectic. Richardson families, thanks, G. Really appreciate you and voicing your opinion on this one. Oh, thank you. You know, that's rare, right? Regina said, please stop hating on the jury. Who? Are you saying that to everyone or what? I don't think anyone's hating on the jury. Who's hating on the jury? I don't think anyone's hating. You can react to what you think. That's what we're here for. What do you think about the verdict? Guilty on all 4 counts. What do you think? Richardson family, there we go. I read yours. You said he turned crazy after his wife shut him down. That was when he started eating paper, right? And then, yeah. Interesting. Criminally focused said Doug Carter makes me so mad. Yeah, me too. Me too. And if this is it, they want us to be like, okay, no, this is the lone wolf, the only guy. He did it in 19 minutes, crossing, from that down the hill, across the creek to the crime scene. Somehow one of the victims is completely pristine as described. What? All of that? And then this is the only guy. Okay, well, then I'm going to be watching my own case file again and being like, why did they say that? 2 sketches, 2 weapons, and now it's like, no, 1 guy in a box cutter. Okay. Dave said, I'm with most of you innocent. Bucko says, innocent people don't confess 61 times. Guess then you don't understand mental illness. Kimmer said, I don't hate the jury. I just think they got it wrong. I understand. Right. And that's fine to say that. Perfectly fine to say that. Kerville said, no hate on the jury. I feel that those that look into it after are going to be upset so much with help from them. And I'd actually asked Andrea that question yesterday. So again, if you missed yesterday's stream where Andrea was on with us discussing the case and, the verdict watch and all of that. Yeah, I was saying, well, what if they convict him and then afterwards they go and research the case and then they're like, wait, what? What if they feel really angry about it? Is there anything they can do about it? There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. Tracy said, this is not justice. Thank you for all you do. Oh, thank you so much. Becca, what does that mean? They are smacking on the lawyer. What does smacking mean? What does that mean? Laura said, we do absolutely love your commentary, Gisela. Oh, thank you so much. Jackie said, common sense isn't so common. Ooh, those defense attorneys, they still want to be working hard. Annette said, Gull and her goodies are hiding truths. Only a guilty person hides, and that's exactly what she and her henchmen have been doing. Yeah, why can't she make a speech? Say something. Why are you going to keep that gag order in? Oh, my word. Let me just check to see what's happening now on X. As you know, I'm checking everything the whole time just to see anything else. Okay, 8 seconds ago, someone said a bullet matched to a particular gun by tool mark examination is very strong evidence. I believe, like the jury, he killed those innocent young girls. So somebody on X is saying Andrew Zorn, really, is his handle, saying that would be the smoking gun for him, the unspent round. Joe Ellie, thank you for being a member for 22 months. So let's think about because we didn't see what they saw. We heard a lot of notes from the trial. Why would the jury vote guilty on all counts? I think it would be a process of elimination and being like, damn, there's a lot of confessions. 1, 2, the unspent round. 3, you know what Richard Allen said that I think was definitely not in his favor is when they showed him a picture of Bridge Guy and said, is that you? And he said, well, if the girls took that picture, then that's not me because I didn't see them. That was not a good answer. Just say no, as we know. Taylor said, the hair's not tested. The timelines are whack. Those timelines are so whack. As much as people want to rant and rave over their map time, they're whack. The timelines are so wild. Girls Nana said, I think the jury did not get all the information. The judge and prosecutor want this case over, and Richard was the fall guy. I was wondering how they're going to afford another trial if this would be a hung jury. I was thinking it would probably be a hung jury because it is so controversial and there's so many holes in this case that I'm like, it's probably going to be a hung jury. Wow. Art Attack said, I'm a Hoosier and feel no safer. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry. Crochet said, will Judge Gold have a say in the appeal? I do wonder. I wonder. And she's a special judge assigned to the case. Lorraine said it's the confessions that convicted him. Right. Oh my goodness. Sweet and Salty said jurors were being followed the last couple of days. Why? That's not good, right? Dog Defense said, I think this judge should be put on notice and have her handling of this case gone over with a fine-tooth comb. I think she should be held accountable for all her bias, favoritism, outrageous call BS. Now, Leanne said, why did he use a box cutter if he had a loaded gun? If he had one in each hand, then how did he keep them still? Well, I guess a gun would be heard by all, even though the state's timeline is that he crossed the creek with 2 naked girls. That's the state's story from everything I heard from the notes. I'm like, what? Even if he didn't yet force them to undress. Wow. Broad daylight, 2 teenage girls crossing the creek onto Ron Logan's property. Oh my word. Imagine like the jury doesn't even know anything about Ron Logan. They don't know anything about Ron Logan. They don't know anything about the sketches. There's actually so much they don't know. Obviously, they don't know anything about the confessions from Elvis Fields. All these things. BZ Mama said, is there a verdict? Yes, guilty on all counts. All 4 counts, guilty. He'll be sentenced December 20th. Peter Ortiz said, I believe the jury got it right. God bless the victims and the families. Thank you, Peter Ortiz, for being here and sharing your opinion. MB said, how could Casey Anthony walk free and Richard Allen is found guilty? Oh my. Comparing those cases, quite hectic, Ryan. Everyone said, well, everyone, your handles everyone. Just need my brain and what I want to combine. What does it mean? CLG said, can this be appealed? New trial. I think there can be an appeal and there can be a new trial, right? The verdict is out. Guilty on all counts. Regina said, notes from defense attorneys. Still notes from the trial. I don't think it was biased, jaded, tainted. I think it was extremely factual. I was so grateful for it. You know, and the jury's just human. Guilty of crime says, I'm telling you, the jury got it right. Richard Allen is guilty. Okay. So let's see. Cosmo says, hope the appeal brings more evidence. Yes. Richardson family, 4.2 million. Remember when they said right before the trial they're going to need like another 2.2 million? Then I was thinking, oh my word, they're already prepared for a hung jury because then it means they're already ready for 2 trials. But clearly, maybe that was just for the 1 trial. Wow. Hypnotized Lobster says, I wonder what the Odinist tattoo face guy prison guard is up to. Oh no, can you imagine? Chomping at the bit, waiting for little Dickie to get to prison. Oh dear. Lou says, no wonder they didn't have cameras in the courtroom. Corrupt. Linda says the jury's going to be pissed after they find out what wasn't brought to the table. I wonder how, I mean, all of us, I guess, at one point, you know, because this case dates all the way back to February 13th of 2017. So over 7 years ago. Somewhere along the timeline there, all of us got curious about this case, right? And once you start with this case, oh my word, there's so much to look at. There's so much to look at. My goodness. Okay. Summertime said, hope his lawyers stay on for the appeal. I think they will. I think they will, based on everything we've seen about them. But this must be absolutely exhausting as well, right? Now, Ali, handle one salty bitch, said, there's no justice left in this world. We are supposed to be protected by our constitution, but I'm convinced it is all just an illusion. When the system is rigged, no one wins. Every single state witness impeached themselves by lying on the stand. I mean, it sounded like a lot of lying on the stand as well. Sure. I mean, there's a lot of things that the jury, they don't know. Also, like Brad Weber and the van, that was only looked into 2 weeks before the trial. The DNA in Abby's hair was only tested when the trial started. Wow. Amazing. Wow. Peggy said, not to mention the headphones. That, unless that's water damage, but still weird. Still weird. The plugging in and plugging out. Strange. And why at 5:32? Why did that happen then? Well, 5:30 or whatever time that was. Around then. Why then? And not at 2:32 when they say everything happened. Ooh, my word. Okay. Now, Lorraine said, Richard Allen is not safe in prison. His counsel needs to request him to be moved ASAP. Yeah. This is extreme high risk on his life. Right? Ooh, Jazzy Girl said, Judge Gold will not be part of the appeals process. Thank God. I still don't know if he did it, but I know the state didn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm very sad today. Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. Told you guys, I like principles. I don't know if it's the pilot training or what, but I like principles, checklists, procedure, things to be done right, you know? I didn't really see that in this case, unfortunately. Procedure, principles, checklists, things done right. Ooh, I don't know about that. You know, there was a receptionist that found that tip. You know, she was looking through one of the boxes. I think her name was Kathy Shank. Yeah, she was just like, what? Like, what is this? And then she took that to the police, and they looked into it. And then they went to talk to Richard Allen, and then they arrested him in October of 2022. Right. I only emerge after dark said there was no transparency. Laney said, I think the jury had to leave open for an appeal. They had to know lots hidden. Yeah, Minty said, I bet he's going right back to solitary. That's quite something. Oh, my word. KPT said, oh, okay, he'll be in jail till sentencing. Yeah, so he's been in the Cass County jail. They moved him out of that Wabash facility to put him in the Cass County jail while this trial was happening. So I guess he'll be going there to the Cass County jail until sentencing, which is set for December 20th, right? Shilling. I don't know. I can't remember what she said. You're like, I didn't mean Yuji. No problem. So, yeah, Cass County jail until December 20th. And then I wonder, where is he going to be permanently then? You know, was it going to be Westville Correctional Facility again? Probably. I would assume it would be Westville Correctional Facility. Why Wabash? Why did they move him there the first time? Okay, somebody's saying Bobby's lab. Where? I'm going to go look. Let's see. Okay. They're showing Court TV. Oh, is he on Court TV? Oh, these ones are still talking outside. Sorry, hold on 1 second. I'm just looking around quickly for us.
To the case, let's take a listen.
Okay.
So obviously everybody has already got the news of the verdict. With that being said, Judge Gull has not lifted the gag order, so we're not going to be able to make any type of public statement at this point. We'll be looking forward to having something scheduled a month from now at following sentencing. So with that, that's all that we're going to be able to say at this time. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so the writing's on the wall. If the gag order's in effect, they're not going to speak. They're not going to violate the judge's orders. Why would you do that? Little unusual to have the gag order.
Yes, Vinny. Little unusual to have the gag order extended to after sentencing. That's so crazy. Oh my word. Freaking Gull. Least favorite judge of all time for me. Everyone speaks for themselves. I'm just like, oh my word. Wow. Elisa says, so he's skilled enough to commit this crime in record time and leave no DNA at all, but didn't think to pick up his unspent round. Absurd. I can't wait to tell Mr. Grizzly, that's my husband, Raphael, about this. He's going to be like, what? Because he started to talk legalese lately. You know, he has no law experience, but he's like, it's not beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'm like, right. All these factors. Oh my word.
after the case, because that's usually to protect the jury from any undue influence. But obviously, Judge Fran Gohl would never be influenced by what people are saying outside. She's a judge. So, but she has kept the gag order in effect, so no one will be speaking for at least a month on this. But Barbara McDonald was inside the courtroom.
Yes,
for
tell
the
us,
moment.
Barbara. Okay, thank you, Court TV. I'm streaming from Court TV. If you want to go watch it there without me, Gisela K on the side over here, then you know where to watch it. I just want to see what these reactions are. I want to see it with you.
Barbara, how would you describe that
Is the sound okay, you guys? You want me to boost it? Is it good?
moment when everyone's inside the courtroom and we are just about to hear from the jury?
I think there was a collective gasp. You know, one of the things about this judge is she does tend to move very quickly. The minute she received the paper from the foreperson, she immediately began reading the charges, and she read through them very, very quickly. I think it caught a lot of people off guard, just how quickly she was going through it, and then what the verdict was, and that there was some finality to this for this stage of the process. I know the defense is very likely to appeal this verdict. There were many issues that they raised that they felt were unfair by this judge heading into trial, and even some of the decisions that she made at trial. So we do anticipate an appeal on at least one or two issues from this defense team. But, you know, it was a heavy moment, and I think that was on the faces of everyone. Even Superintendent Carter, when he came in, looked somber. The prosecutor looked somber. Everybody was just bracing to hear what this verdict was going to be. After 4 days and 18 hours of deliberations, this has been a very controversial case for so long. The arrest of Richard Allen didn't satisfy that. People have talked about many other people who they believe could have been involved. The defense threw out a couple of names. They were not allowed to use any of that information at trial. But it's going to be very interesting if any of these jurors talk and to find out what stood out to them, what was the evidence that convinced them that Richard Allen is in fact the killer of Abby and Libby, and what evidence they perhaps discounted along the way as they went through those 18 hours of deliberations.
Gotta trust your gut. I'm sure along the way some of the jurors would have been like, something is a little off with this witness, huh? You know? But then you might just think, no, man, it can't be. They've arrested this guy in 2022. It's taken a long time from 2013 to get here. 2017 to get here. So maybe, you know, I thought of that. These jurors would be thinking, wow, the crime was committed quite long ago. Okay, wow. And this is the guy they arrested? Okay, you know, it's a lot of pressure for the jurors. Precious One said, I think they used the aux to keep the phone quiet. They knew people would start calling the phone as soon as they didn't show for a ride. But I wonder why they didn't just put the phone on mute then. Or did they think, whoever, did they think it would be like a bypassing the mute button or what? You know what I mean? Just turn the sound down? I don't know. Jazzy Girl said, I would much rather watch this with your input, lovely lady. Oh, thank you. I really love your channel and how open-minded and intelligent you are. Thank you so much. So just please know that everybody, you are entitled to your own opinion. I think a lot of people are going to get, I told you so. There's no I told you. We're all entitled to our own opinion. You don't have to be forced to believe something if you don't believe it. For me, I'm still wondering, hey, Dakota, you going to arrest anyone else? Any of them that said that all those years? What is all that bullcack you fed us for so long? Luke said, will be a mistrial of justice one day, probably too late for him, sadly. Yeah, then we'll never know. Stefan and many just keep saying, bullshit. I saw that term come up over this, you know, during this trial. It's a good one, actually, because wow. Okay, so let me see quickly here. I just want to see. Okay, so someone says on X, I have a question. Elf, okay, not just for Christmas, says, I have a question for anyone who thinks Richard Allen made false confessions. If he'd gone to jail, not prison, and made the exact same confessions, would you still be saying they're false because jail ain't no walk in the park? I think it was more the solitary confinement and all of that. But we don't often see that. but mental health can really deteriorate, right? Like we're not seeing Stefan Stearns because he's in solitary confinement, suddenly making confessions, right? But it's the nature, the circumstances under which, and the lack of trust in everything that was going on there and being reported there, and the attorneys couldn't really talk to him, and that he was suddenly moved from Westville to Wabash for no reason. People still don't know the reason. Apparently, Richard Allen doesn't even know the reason. Wow. Okay, yeah. So Melissa said all of us could be right where RA is if we try to help. Don't talk to police without an attorney. I mean, that is one lesson that comes out of this case, right? So yes. JP, wow, but he hasn't been convicted either yet. No, he hasn't yet. But you said 2 little girls, but it's the crime scene. It's confusing. If one victim, okay, trigger warning, is like naked and covered in blood, and the other one is wearing that victim's clothing, that's already so bizarre, and then is pristine. Clean torso, clean hands. What? That's such a crazy crime scene, especially for the timeline. Oh my word. And just to know that the police, they didn't test the DNA. They didn't test the hair in Abby's hand. They didn't test the branches. What? That is so crazy. Rob says, thank you for your excellent commentary, G. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much all for being here. And thank you also to everyone who's buying coffees and sending all gifts. You guys are so sweet. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I will get to messaging you back one by one. Wow. Okay, so I can't see. I think Andrea, Bob Motter, and Lawyer Lee are obviously very busy right now. I did invite them to hop on with us if they could, but I think they're very busy right now. So I'm just going to leave them in peace for now. If I can have them on another time, I will. I just want to see. Someone said something about Court TV doing what now? Let's just see. What are they saying? It depends who's on and what's happening. Wow. Yeah, no, there's nothing too much going on there. So I'm going to call it a day at this point. Please leave your comments below. Please don't fight with each other. Please don't fight with each other. Okay. I understand. This is a very upsetting topic. It's a very upsetting case. I mean, there's so much mystery. There's so many holes in it. So we will have to see. Oh, that's what you said. Bob is on Court TV. Okay, yes. Bob is on Court TV. Good for him. That's awesome. So I will see you all very soon. Okay, make sure you are subscribed with your notifications on. And then I'm working on something else for you as well for tomorrow. So I'll see you soon. Okay, stay safe and yeah, be kind to each other. And let's see what happens next. Of course, do you think that the sentencing will be streamed? Because I don't, based on how Judge Gold runs everything. Let me just see quickly. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. See you again very soon. Bye.